In Microsoft 365, having the autosave function has saved me more times than I can remember. The power goes out or somebody changes a document. Having a version history to roll back to is very useful. But every version that is auto-saved is actually saving another copy of that document onto your OneDrive. And so what does it do? It takes up space. Let's have a look how you can manage the version history of all of your OneDrive files. We're going to start with PowerPoint presentation files because if you like me, you like putting images and videos into your presentations, and what do? They take up space. So we're going to go to Office Online and to our OneDrive Online, just like we've been doing previously. And I'm going straight to my Paula's presentations files. Here I'm going to sort by file size so that we can find the biggest files first. And here's a good example. So this file, it's 24.5 megabytes. Not so big, hey? But let's see how many versions of this file I've got. If I click on the file, you can see at the top, it opens up to have a toolbar, and I've got ellipses where if I click on the ellipses and scroll down, at the bottom, there is a version history tab. By clicking on the version history tab, it comes up with every time that I have modified that document. And you can see there are 11 versions of this particular file. And if I scroll down, it starts out with version 1 being 15 megabytes, but between the 26th of June and the 6th of July, I've managed to create 11 copies of it. So you add all of those up and you're getting almost a quarter of a gig of data that is sitting in one OneDrive file. So now how do we manage those and get rid of them? Okay, I'm going to leave the last 2 versions and I'm going to start deleting from version 9 downwards. That way I safely know that I've got the most recent version and 1 version back. You click on the ellipses and click delete version. Click on the ellipses, click delete version. So this is a little bit laborious. I haven't figured out a better way to do it, but it is the best way that I have found so far. Now left with only version 10 and 11 of this particular file. I'm going to do another example quickly just so that you can see the magnitude of the problem. Here I've already sorted by file size, and in this project planning presentation, here you can see I have almost half a gig of data already. So I'm going to click on and tick that file, go back up to my ellipses at the top, click version history, and here again I've got 10 versions of it. Some of them were really small while I was planning this document, but you can see version 9 is 220 megabytes. So I'm going to delete that version right up front and the rest of the versions behind it. So I'm sure you, like me, and you also have copies of copies that you've dated and said that they're final 1.1. Well, you've got versions and you've got copies of documents. So make sure that you clean up the version history as your first port of call. Remember, we do still have to go to our recycle bin. And here you can see it's populated with all of those versions. Remember to empty your recycle bin. And that's our storage tip for the week. We hope you are cleaning up your OneDrive storage, and we will see you next week.